Hey there, this is Trista Polo, and I am launching the Scaffolding project. So I want to share with you what it is and share chapter 1 of the project. It is officially 17 short weeks until I turn 50 years old. And I've been saying this out loud a lot lately because I think it's important I get used to the idea. This is definitely the most charged birthday I have had in my life, and it has this special significance for me. I think it's that half century concept, like for half a century I will have been on this earth, and it's kind of like cresting a hill somehow. So hashtag half century countdown. I've really been looking at all of the ways that I've impacted the world and all of the things that I've learned. So I want to do 50 lessons that I've learned in my first 50 years, and I want to share all of them before I turn 50. It's a little bit of an undertaking. I was having a conversation with my sister over Thanksgiving, and she said, anybody can give platitudes, and anybody can give advice, and anybody can regurgitate things that are said over and over again in books. What makes the lesson really special is how did it impact you? What did you learn? What mistakes did you make? What missteps? What challenges? What failures? Really getting vulnerable and authentic and not just sharing a platitude or a cliche or a quote or an affirmation, but how I actually got to that moment. So sort of like instead of showing you the building, actually sharing the scaffolding that's holding it up. Thus the title, The Scaffolding Project. Chapter 1 of 50 lessons that I've learned in my first 50 years is about my health. I am just today on the last day of 28 Days of Health Challenge that was put out by my company. And it really has me reflecting not only on what I've done the last 28 days, but also what I've done in my life to both support and undermine my health. Many years ago, I was told about a program that would help me lose a ton of weight super fast. And being a yo-yo dieter, this super appealed to me. How do I do something with the least amount of effort, the most amount of results, and the quickest possible time frame? I mean, who wouldn't want that, right? I called this the Milk Veg Diet. It was given to me by a chiropractor. He had people coming into his office in droves asking for this secret sauce. How do I lose this huge amount of weight in this short amount of time? So here's how it went. For 2 days, all you could eat was non-fat milk products. And for 2 days, all you could eat was vegetables, thus the name Milk and Veg. You could only eat between noon and 6 p.m. and you would be so hungry during this program that you were given these little bumpy things on the backs of your ears placed specifically at an acupressure point that when you rub it, it reduces your need for food, your hunger. So part of the program was actually doing this specific amounts of times, specific times of day. This really was a starvation diet. And I lost a lot of weight. I lost 60 pounds in 6 months. My husband lost over 100 pounds. I was going to the gym at the time, so I had a superhero bod by the end of this. Russell was not working out, and his friends actually asked him if he was dying. That's how emaciated he looked. The thing about this that I loved was that it gave me really amazing results, and I felt and looked great. What I didn't love was there weren't a lot of variety of foods. I really couldn't go to parties and eat regular food, and it wasn't sustainable. The needless to say part is I gained all the weight back that I had lost, and it just wasn't something that was going to work for either of us long term. One thing I'm grateful for, though, with that program is the doctor said you must take a multivitamin when you're on this program because you're not getting enough nutrients from the food that you're consuming. And I really balked at that. I visited my mom shortly after that, and I told her about the diet, and I told her that he wanted me to take a multivitamin. I mean, I do not have a good relationship with pills. I don't like swallowing them. I don't even like thinking about swallowing them. They give me a stomach ache if I don't eat them with food. I don't really feel any different, so I don't see why I should go through all that hassle. I'm quite the drama queen when it comes to that. Well, my mom was in this networking group, and she was taking a drinkable supplement that she was purchasing from a guy in the group. And she made me a cocktail. I was really surprised because I liked the way it tasted. I didn't have any trouble swallowing it, and I actually felt better. So, introduction to that isotonic capable supplement, which I still take every single day over a decade later, led me to my company, which I'm now partnered with, which I've been earning a residual income from as my primary source of income for over a decade. That silly diet that was not sustainable at all brought me a lot of wealth, a lot of residual income, and a lot of time freedom. And being on Zoom these days, that's the hardest I work. And I get to have a podcast. I've been an improv actor, and I get to do things that I really enjoy and love. Fewer of them now during the pandemic, but still. So the chapter 1 of the Scaffolding project is your health is wealth. And whatever you decide to do to manage your health, keep it sustainable, keep it simple, and use a system that's proven over time. So what have I been doing over the last 28 days to transform my health? Well, before the pandemic, I had lost 30 pounds on a program that's very food-based with supplements to support. And I did really well with it. I reduced my cholesterol over 90 points. Since the pandemic, I've been much more sedentary, a lot less moving around and running around and the regular everyday stuff. And so I've definitely backslid a little bit because there's only a few things to do here, and one of them is cook and the other one is eat. Over the last 28 days, I've really improved my water intake. I actually am, most days I'm drinking half my body weight in ounces. So if you take you take your pound body weight and then take half of that and drink that many ounces of water, plus 8 ounces for everything you do that is not, forwarding your health, like a cup of coffee. And most days I do 100% of the water I'm supposed to. And every other day I do the majority of it. So super proud of that. I've also added daily essential and digestive enzyme support so I can really clear up my gut. And I've been using the brief time between each step of my skincare regimen to move more, whether it's squats, yoga movements, stretching, or dancing to my favorite songs. So that is step 1, chapter 1 in the Scaffolding project. Look at your health as one of your assets. Treat it with respect. Do something sustainable, because short-term confidence will quickly fade if it's not a sustainable program that's about nutrition, real food, and simple, easy to follow steps. I will be back with chapter 2. I would love to hear what you have learned about how to manage your health in a sustainable, simple, and effective way, because I could certainly use more support in that way. I'm Trista Polo. I'm on my half-century countdown. I woke up awesome, and so did you. Have a good night.